So I'd like to officially welcome everybody to this workshop. I'm Julia, and I'm thrilled to see that Thrivers can gather so many women from around the world. That's awesome. I created Thrivers to empower and inspire women to have the life they want. And I've said this before, but it really is my mission, and it's brilliant to see so many women believing in themselves and taking action, and that really drives me on to continue to create this amazing community of women, championing each other and yourselves. So that's really important, and it's really good to have you all on board. And so today we have with us Susanne Rauer, who is going to empower all of us through creating our strategic life plan. So we can't wait for that. And I just wanted to say on a personal note that I know the value of this experience, because 2 years ago I was in a very stressful job, and I was actually giving everything to my job. And I didn't really give any time to look up to see the direction, see where I was going. So I happened to come across a book actually called The Life Plan. And in that, there was a life plan template. It was actually a 5-year one. And it was actually on a flight to New York, because there was no Wi-Fi, no annoying boss to get hold of me, and loads of time to write a life plan. And it was one of the most enlightening things I did. And from that, I realized that I wasn't any longer going in the direction I wanted. And I started to make small changes towards the life I did want. And it was really empowering. So I can't wait to see what this session does for you with Susanne today. And so, as I said, these sessions are brought to you so you can get as much value out as possible by connecting you to the experts. So please use the Q&A in the chat. If you weren't here before, I just want to make sure people are really happy with that. So there is a Q&A at the bottom as a little icon. During the workshop, if you ask and have any questions, just throw them up in the Q&A, and Susanne's going to try and get through as many questions as possible after the initial session. So don't hold back. There's also a little anonymous box if you just can tick that. If you want to be anonymous, of course, we don't mind what your name is. We just want you to get as much from it as possible. So yeah, ask your questions. And so we are really, as I said, really honored to have Susanne with us today, who is an executive conscious leadership coach. Her passion is to help people to live consciously and thrive. Susanne works with successful executives, top performers, and high achievers to accelerate their results. So we are really lucky today. Hi, Susanne, and thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, really, really good. We can't wait to get cracking in this. Susanne, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you very much for having me, and for everyone on the call, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy lives. I know how busy everyone is, so I really appreciate it. As you just said, I'm an executive coach focusing on conscious leadership. And that means really helping people to make conscious decisions in every single moment of their life. As you just mentioned, typically I'm working with top performers, high achievers, very fast-paced, smart, quick-minded people who are often feeling a little bit frustrated because not everyone thinks the way they do, not everyone is as fast as they are, and not everyone sees all these opportunities and improvement potential the way they do. And if this is you know already what I'm talking about. So what I will be doing today, and what I usually do with my clients, is really organizing and structuring their thoughts, getting their millions of thoughts onto paper, and then mapping them against their personal why, so that we then decide together which are the ideas we want to focus on first. Think about, and you might relate to that, or you might know somebody who's like that. It's like being a fly captured inside, flying against the window again and again, trying harder and harder to get out, but not seeing that, you know, just by flying a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, you know, more opportunities are possible and you feel free and fulfilled again. So that's what I love. That's what I'm doing. That's my passion. And yeah, you know, Julia and I thought we would get you started today a little bit in regards to bringing your great ideas, the big, bold, meaningful work from you out of your head onto paper. What do you think, Julia?
Yeah, it sounds great. And I've already had a look at the template, and yes, Susanne talked me through it, and I think it's going to be brilliant. Just so you know, in case you didn't get the email, I've just put up a link. If you did want to fill this in as Susanne goes through it, it's just in the chat there if you wanted to try and do that now. Otherwise, as you know, these sessions are recorded, so you'll be able to go through it in your own time as well. So I'll hand it over to you now, Susanne.
Okay, so I would highly suggest to open up the template, and can I share my screen, or is it shared already? Share screen. So, can you see the template?
Yeah, that looks great.
Fantastic. So, let's jump into it straight away. The first page is really a little bit about an introduction and a story about why this is important to focus on. And you can read that in your own time. There's too much detail for now, but I want to give you the idea in a nutshell. It talks about a book written by Mark McCormack, which is called What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School. And it's talking about a Harvard study which was conducted in 1979. They have asked back then all the graduates from the MBA program one specific question. And the question was, have you set clear written goals for your future and made a plan to accomplish them? And the results were 3% of all the asked people had clear written goals and said yes. 13% had goals, but they were not written down. And 84% didn't really have specific goals other than finishing school or enjoying the summer. 10 years later, the researchers interviewed the same people and found something interesting. So the 13% of people who had goals but they haven't written them down earned in average twice as much as the 84% who didn't have any specific goals. So when we think about it, that's 200K instead of 100K per year. That's quite a lot, right? But more surprisingly and interesting was that the 3% who had clear, defined, and written down goals earned in average 10% more than all the others, the rest together, the 90-70%. And I find this quite interesting because this is now we're talking 1 million instead of 100K per year, and that's quite significant. So that should just give you a little bit of an idea why it is important to think about what you want and to write the things down. So let's have a look now at the template. But before we go into the template, I just want to share a few things with you. So why 5 to 7 years? And you said it before, Julia, right? You can, if 7 years is too long for you, you can say 5 years. That doesn't matter. But the idea is to have in a goal, have goals, have an aspiration, a desire beyond the 1 year cycle we are usually running. So when we think about business, it's very, very logical and very, very normal that we have business, strategic business plans, which look at the 5 year, 7 year window. But today, what we will be doing is not thinking about your team, not thinking about your corporation you're working for or your own business. Today, we are thinking about you as a person and focusing on a plan, on a strategic plan for you. Because there is this saying, if you don't have your own plan, which plan or whose plan are you supporting? Because there are people, there are at least a 3% out there who have a clear direction and who have a clear plan. And today we would like to increase the number and ask you to feel free to answer a few questions for yourself. Before we start, and with your permission, I just want to address your conscious mind and your unconscious mind, and to make sure that we will be quite fast going through the questions, and I really invite you to go with your gut feeling, to go with the first thought which is coming up for you. Write it down, no matter what it is. Be curious, giggle. Maybe you wonder, where's this coming from? Don't worry about it, just write it down for now. It will be perfect for the first draft. And for some of you, it will be really interesting what's coming out or coming up for you. So I invite you to, have no judgment. There are no rules, there are no boundaries for creating the first high-level draft. Dream big, have fun, life is serious enough, and let's just do it. I have to manage your expectations. We won't complete your strategic life plan today, but we will have a good start. And so what you will have at the end of the session, you have an idea of what it is that you want, what a strategic plan is, and how you can evolve it. And then you can complete it in your own time. So in a moment, I will ask you a set of questions. There are 15 different categories, and I will go rather fast through them, as I mentioned before. And again, don't take too much time to think about it. Just note down whatever comes up. Some questions might even challenge your belief system at times. And please take what you love, take what you like, and leave behind what you don't like. Don't judge it. So let's have a look at the sheet. First thing here, I hope you see my cursor. Fill in your name. That's a simple one. And then the date. Today is Wednesday, the 11th of July, 2018. And for the next field, I invite you to answer the first question for yourself. So take a moment and think about, how old will you be in 7 years? How old will you be in July 2025? And while you're answering this question for yourself, just experience, just notice what kind of feeling comes up when you think about this number. Are you excited, shocked, happy, anxious, curious, sad, angry, blissful, whatever it is? Interesting, right? If you haven't thought about that before, that might be an interesting thought. So don't judge it, just observe it and fill it in to the little, next to the little birthday gift box here. Okay. So once you have done that, let's get started. So now let's fast forward into the future and think about you in 7 years. Think about you at that age you just calculated. Take a deep breath in and write down whatever comes up. So healthy me, talking about mind, body, spirit in 2025. What will your health be in 2025? How do you want to feel health-wise? How do you want to feel in your skin? What are the attributes you want to use to describe yourself? Is it beautiful, sexy, strong, fit, simply healthy? What is that? I am strong. I am healthy. Just note down whatever comes up. What healthy habits will you have in place? Are you going to the gym? Are you going running, yoga, Pilates, boxing, any art classes? Whatever it is for you, what do you want it to be? And how often will you go? Are you going once a week, twice a week, daily? What do you want it to be? Note down everything, don't judge it, just let it flow, mind to paper. Okay. Number 2, your family. You know, imagine lying one morning in 7 years in bed, you're just waking up, you're opening your eyes, and you're looking to your favorite side. Who's lying next to you? Is there somebody next to you? Or maybe you would like to be alone. And that's fine. What would you like it to be in 7 years? Will you be alone? Will you be in a partnership? Will you be married, divorced? Is this the same partner you have right now? Or maybe it's somebody else. No right or wrong, whatever it is for you. What about your parents, your siblings, cousins, your besties? Are there any important people in your life? Are they still around? Are they still in your life? Or maybe not? Are there any new friends? Are they living close by, or are they living in a different country? How often will you visit them? How often will you see the people you really care about? What would you like it to be? Number 3, children. Do you want children? Maybe not. Maybe you do. Maybe you have already children. How many do you want? If you have kids already, how old will they be? Will they still be in your household? Or maybe they are grown up by then. Maybe you just want to be the cool, fun auntie instead of the cool, fun mom. What do you want it to be? You know, would adoption be something you would consider? Would you have even kids without having a partner? Just something to ponder about. How important is this topic to you? And remember, you know, I'm not talking about what your family wants for you. I'm not talking about what society, what's normal for society. I'm just talking about really what do you want at this particular point of time, which can always change, of course. Just note it down. Number 4, relationships with others. What kind of people do you choose to have in your life? Friends, colleagues, employees, business partners. What kind of attributes would describe these people? Are they kind, smart, friendly, down to earth, funny, exciting, calm, inspiring? How would you describe them? What would your favorite tribe look like? Just a couple of notes. And then my favorite topic. What will your relationship with yourself be? Do you like yourself? Do you love yourself? Do you respect yourself? Do you support yourself no matter what? Can you always rely on yourself? And how do you treat yourself, especially with your thoughts? Do you have kind, serving, and supporting thoughts? Are you your best friend no matter what? What do you want it to be? Number 6, are you an animal lover? Will there be any cats, dogs, birds, snakes in your home? Will there be kangaroos, deer, horses, sheep in your broader backyard? You know, I have this beautiful friend who is living on this beautiful olive farm, and they have wild kangaroos in their backyard, and they have sheep, and they have even platypus in the river back you know, next to their house. So it's beautiful. I love it when I visit. It wouldn't be for me, you know, on a day-to-day basis, but you know, what is it for you? Number 7, your nest, your home, your personal residency. Where will you live in 7 years? Which country will you be? Which city do you always wanted to live? And are you living in an apartment, a townhouse, a freestanding house, or maybe a farm, a castle? Where do you want to live? And do you rent or do you own? Is this even important to you? Will you live alone again with your family, or maybe with your flatmates? Are there any vehicles in the driveway? If yes, will it be a car, a motorcycle, a scooter, a boat, a Segway? How many? Maybe you know the brand already. What color would they be? What's your favorite color? If you would know, what would it be? Number 8, talking about your investment. What kind of investment will you have accumulated at that point of time, if this is important to you? How many investment properties do you want to have? How many dollars, pounds, or euros will you have invested on the stock market? Is there any money in your savings account? Do you have a security buffer? What amount of money will it be in your super fund or in your retirement savings? Do you have any special insurances which are important to you? Any other forms of investment, like any vintage motor cycles or machinery or art? I just need to say a little side note. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just encouraging you to think about it. Yeah, it's really an important topic. Number 9, your choice of professional fulfillment. You know, will you have your own successful business? If yes, will it be a small business, a medium, or a large corporation? What's the optimum size for you? How many people are working for you, if at all any? Or will you be a full-time mom running a successful family business? You know, don't underestimate that job. That's so important, so amazing. Or are you enjoying to be an employee, a contractor, freelancer? What would be your dream company you always wanted to work for? Where will your career be at in 7 years? Is a job title important to you? If yes, what would be the job title? Will you lead others? How many people? What will it be in 2025? Does networking marketing rock your boat? Or do you want to be a digital nomad, traveling the world while making money? Will you be retired by then? Or maybe early retired? That's something I would love to do. So many options. What do you want it to be for you? in 7 years. So number 10, your income. Again, no judgment. How much money would you like to earn per year or per month, whatever it is for you, in 2025? You know, talking about income per year, is it around 20, 50, 100K, 150K per year, 250, which is $250,000 per year, 300, $500,000, $1 million. I'm just making it big, no boundaries. Could be 2 million, 10 million, whatever it is for you. What do you want it to be? Reasonable for you. And just a kind reminder, no judgment, no thinking about how am I going to do it. Just what do you want it to be? Will this income be active by you going to a job on a day-to-day basis or being active in your business? Or will it be, you know, passive, like from a paid off investment property, the rent coming in every month? What will it be for you? Is it important to you to have active and passive income? If yes, note it down. And again, especially to this topic, I have to say I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a big dreamer, and I'm wanting to help people to really put their dreams onto paper, because it's more likely that you will achieve it. So what is it for you? Number 11, personal growth. You know, the simple fact that you take time out of your busy lives here today to join us either shows that you really want to support Julia and myself, or hopefully you do it for yourself, and you know, you enjoy to learn and grow new things. So in 7 years, what kind of books do you read or listen to? What kind of documentaries or, you know, workshops are you watching? Any training courses you always wanted to do, but you haven't gotten around it yet? Any personal, professional, creative courses? Think of music, art, sport, health, mind, body, spirit. Is there anything you always wanted to do? Is there any person, any particular person you always wanted to see? Or a certain topic you wanted to get your head around? Write them all down. You know, you might forward them to another year later on, but for now, put everything down in year 7. What's on your bucket list? Number 12, your contributions. Do you love giving back? Is there anything you always wanted to contribute to the world, to humanity, to society, to your local community, to your family? What is that? Could be being a board member of a charity, being more active in your local school or council, helping to provide food to homeless people. You know, committing to one random random act of kindness per week, packing Christmas gifts for people in need, or just smiling at people in your office or on the street and saying, you know, making sure you're greeting them very friendly so that they feel welcome and home. It doesn't need always time and money. So is there anything for you that you always wanted to do? Number 13, spirituality. Are there any spiritual or religious rituals important to you? You know, like daily meditation, praying, fasting, breathing, positive affirmation, whatever it might be for you. How often and when would you like to do it? Is there a community involved with that? Who is this community? Who is this tribe? Again, no right or wrong, whatever it is for you. So the next two topics or sets of questions are just to draw out anything which is still missing. So when I ask the question, just write down the things you haven't written down already. So number 14, is there anything you always wanted to do and it's not on your plan already? Please write it down. Is there anything you always wanted to be and it's not on your plan already? Please write it down. And is there anything you always wanted to have and it's not on your plan already? And now there is a time to write it down. Number 15. If you look at your life as it is right now, is there anything you want to see more of in the future? You really like it and you want to make sure that you continue to see that also in 2025. Is there anything you want to see differently in the future? You know, something you have in your life, but you might want to see it a little bit differently. Maybe you have a relationship, but the relationship is not really thriving at the moment. So you want to keep the relationship, but you want to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more, deepen it maybe a little bit more, whatever it is. Or deepen your relationship with your kids or with yourself, whatever it is. Is there anything missing in your life? Anything you want to add to your future and it's not on your plan already? Please write it down. So number 16, you don't really need that as yet. It's only if you know it already. And I know so many people are working on themselves and concentrating on personal development or even have worked with a coach already. If you know your why, here's a place where you put this down so that you make sure whatever you want in the future is aligned to your personal why, your primary reason in life. But don't worry, if it's not there yet, that's fine. You're making a big step towards it, so it's all good. And that's it. So congratulations for giving it a good go. I know it was a bit quick, but I promise you, it is good enough for a good start. You can always go back and add to it and, you know, and shape it and just enrich it. And once you have done that, once you have done 2025, I would like to encourage you to, do you see this little plus sign here? To click on this plus sign and then take your time to say, okay, if this is what I want to see in my life in 2025 in 7 years, what do I have to do in year 6? What would I like to see, therefore, in year 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? And then you can go back to a practical action plan. But you didn't start, you know, small. You looked at the bigger picture first, and then now you're chunking it down and making it very, very practical. So I have done that, 5 years ago, as Julia, you said it as well. 2 years ago you started.
Yeah.
I've done it 5 years ago with my partner. We were 12 years together back then. And, we just reviewed it. And it was so much fun. And I just can highly recommend it. And I recommend it to every client I have, is do it for yourself first. Focus on year 7. Then ask your partner or the person important to your life. And you want to plan with this person. Could be a business person. Could be your mom. Could be your best friend. Whoever it is. Do the same thing and then meet for a nice dinner or a picnic on the weekend and exchange your ideas and thoughts. And so you can enrich it. You can make maybe one plan out of it, and you're much more likely to get what you want when you focus on what you want. So that's it.
That's brilliant. And actually I was just doing mine again then, because I find
great.
I just find it a really fun exercise when there's no limitations. And of course things change as time goes on. And it's good just to write it down again, and some new things came up, but also things that a lot of things that I do already and I changed because I wrote that. So that feels really good too.
Great.
Now, if anyone has any questions, please just throw them up in the Q&A, and remember you can ask anonymously as well. We have got a couple of questions that have come in already, so I'm just going to ask those. So someone's asked Susanne, do you have any tips on how to stay motivated and get the most out of every day?
Yeah. First of all, we have a whole community out there. So if anyone has a great idea what motivates them on a day-to-day basis, please share it with us. But I will share my point of view as well. There are people are different, right? There are big picture people, and there are, people who love and appreciate detail. And the big picture people always need to think about their overall why. Why do they do what they're doing? And if they have their purpose, it could be their family, could be their kids, could be that they want to service their customers, could be anything. Focus back. When you get unmotivated, and we all do, right? We are all human beings. Lucky us. We will always at times be a little bit less motivated, let's say it that way. Go back to, why are you doing what you're doing? And set little reminders. I have my whole mural at home is full of little reminders in these situations, what I'm doing. So positive affirmation working very well for me. My personal why is really, really important for me. And then sharing it with the people you really care about. So when I'm down, I have amazing friends in my life. And, when I'm feeling a little bit down, I'm reaching out to them, and they are just fantastic. And I'm so grateful for having them in my life. I think these are the things I do to keep me motivated. Have a big picture and then a detailed plan, and then check in from time to time to see that you're on track.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, next question. Looking to re-enter the workforce after being made redundant while on maternity leave, and feel very uninspired by the market and unsupported by available opportunities. Have you ideas around own business but stuck? Have ideas around my own business but stuck on a direction and feeling low on self-esteem when once I was very confident?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to thank this person for this honest and really deep and meaningful question. That is a fantastic question, because at times life is just a little bit challenging, and I love this question, I have to say. So for this person, or the people who know people who are in this situation, I would highly suggest to, when the time is right, to go and talk to somebody, go and work with a coach, or somebody. Maybe sometimes it doesn't have to be the coach, can be a friend who's really good at facilitating change and brainstorming with them. If this person has already a business idea, I would say the unconscious mind is already nagging and growing, and just the past experience of being made redundant, while being on maternity leave, which is really can be an uncomfortable situation. I totally understand that. Trying to leaving that behind, because that's the past, and saying, okay, that is what it is. What can I do? What is the one step, the one little thing I can do to move forward, to make myself feel better and grow my business idea? If the person can do this by herself, fantastic. Go for it. That's great. If the person needs a little bit of help, maybe there is a coach in her area, or reaching out to me. I'm happy to help as well, of course, to make the next little step. If she had a lot of self-esteem beforehand, it's still within her, right? It's not gone. It didn't go anywhere. It's just waiting to be reignited again. So I hope that you know, this person sleeps well tonight, and that the person had a lot of ideas in regards to her strategic plan, and that tomorrow maybe is a new beginning. And, you know, do one step. What's the one step you can do to make yourself feel better? And if you can't do it yourself, please reach out. There's so many people who love to help.
Brilliant. Okay, someone's put, what if I don't hit deadlines? Is my plan doomed?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I was a deadline person, you know, it stressed me so much out. And I love deadlines, you know, they're good, you know, they're helpful, but sometimes we won't hit them. And nowadays, I would say that's fine. You know, we are human beings. It's more important that we enjoy the journey, and not giving up and saying, okay, this didn't work out the way I wanted it. Let's reflect, you know, what happened? Maybe something else important came up and I deprioritized. I just didn't update my plan. Well, then that's okay. Things like that happen. That means for the next plan, I might want to build in a little bit more contingency. Or you know, you're just not inspired to do it. So is there somebody else who can do it for you? Or can you approach it from a different point of view? So I would say, you know, deadlines are helpful. They're little helpers, but they shouldn't influence how we feel about our success.
Okay, cool. Okay, another one. I want a great life, but I don't believe I'm clever enough to get it. Should I just accept the life I have and learn to be grateful?
No. Wow, that's a big statement. I think you're clever. I don't know you, but I'm everyone is street smart. And you know, the question is, do you really believe that about yourself, or is this somebody else telling you? Because I think intrinsically, you know, you're just perfect the way you are. Everyone is. So being grateful is great, but I would. It's a great practice. I do it every day. So yes, do it. But it's not the only answer. You know, think about what is missing in your life. What would you like to do? What would you like to do differently? What is it what you would like to see in your life? And focus on that. Yeah, I hope that helps.
Yeah, I think that's really good. And yeah, by writing this, I think probably writing a plan like this where you are just going wild, you think, okay,
Yeah.
I've been really wild. I still don't believe that this is going to happen. But like you were saying earlier, just taking tiny little steps will convince you that actually things are changing more than I realized. So
yeah. Good that you say that, because you know, I have to mention, maybe not everything on your plan will come true. Maybe you change your mind and you don't want it even anymore, you know, but it is much more likely, as I said in the beginning, that you will get very, very close if you're not achieving it when you're writing it down, when you focus on it, when you share your dreams and ideas with other people. And I'm the biggest dreamer, and I say to my friends, you know, I have this idea, I'm absolutely going for it. You can laugh about me, I don't care, I'm going to try. And they say, off you go. You know, and that's amazing.
And that's inspiring for them too, because they're like, well, if she's going to do it, then
I can too.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. Okay, well, we've run out of time for any more questions, but I would love, and Susanne would probably love to hear too, how you go with these life plans. If you do make any changes and you just want to reach out, please tell Susanne and myself, you know, how you're going with them. And I'm just going to quickly throw up in the chat there our email addresses, where I can just find it there, and you can see them there. And that was absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Susanne, for participation today. And I just wanted to say that, as Susanne said earlier, she is available for one-on-one personalized coaching. She has offices in Barangaroo and Sydney. So do you do any Skype sessions, Susanne?
I do. I love one-on-ones in person, but I do Skype sessions too.
Okay, great. I'm just going to put your website up there as well. And Susanne, you actually have a conscious leadership coaching workshop on Sunday, the 22nd of July.
Yeah, that's an amazing workshop here in Sydney in Barangaroo, where my business partner and I were focusing on helping people to make conscious decisions in every single moment of their life. So it's really training the consciousness and the subconscious mind to, make the decisions, to take responsibility back and be the conscious leader of their life at every single moment in their life. So it's amazing. And if that speaks to you, please feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Cool. I've just put the links to that workshop in the chat as well. And you're also teaching people to become coaches like yourself.
Yes, that will start next year. So if you're interested in doing what I'm doing, then also please reach out. I'm starting an executive coaching and business school next year. And that will be so much fun.
Brilliant. So thanks everyone again for joining. I just want to let you know that if you did want to have a recap of this, there will be a copy of this on the website next week, so I'll be sending that out. And also I'm going to be asking for feedback on this, just so as Thrivers always want to make sure every workshop continues to be as engaging as possible. So you can be expecting that. Now, we'll be having some future workshops coming up, but we're actually going through a transformation period to make these, to bring something even more exciting for you guys. So keep posted on social media, and keep believing yourselves. And good luck with the life plans, because I think some great things is going to happen from that. Thank you, Susanne, again. And
thank you, Julia.
And see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.